bringing sexy back. We're bringing sexy back.
Let's get it started. Harder, won't you give it up?
Hello, beautiful lady. Yes, I am talking to you. It is Thursday, and you know what goes down here on Thursday. Wife Life with Dr. Gail goes down here on Thursday. So do me a favor. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button and the little bell right next to it so you'll know when I go live. And so tonight, I want to talk to you about, is your spouse getting boring to you? Is your marriage getting boring to you? I want to give you 7 steps to bring your marriage back from being boring to being amazing, right? Just being amazing. But you have to put in the work, right? Because marriages just don't get boring. We begin to take each other for granted. We begin to do the same old thing because it feels comfortable and you know that it's coming, right? Like, oh, the same old date night, like dinner in the movie. Those kind of things become boring and you begin to take each other for granted. Trust and believe me, I know I've been on this journey for 33 years. I know what boring looks like, but I also know what it is to bring my marriage back from being boring to being amazing. So let's get into the teaching tonight. The first step is be intentional. We are so intentional about every other area of our life. Intentional about making sure our hair is on point, our nails are on point. We make sure that our husband go to the doctor, or we make sure that our children have what they need. We're intentional about every single area of our life. Be intentional about bringing fun and passionate back into your marriage. Make sure that you be intentional about fixing the problem of being boring, right? And you don't have to go and tell your spouse, you know what, you're just boring to me, which you probably already have, but be intentional about fixing it. Be intentional about coming up with a solution. So be intentional about bringing that passion, that fun that you had when you first started dating and fell in love. Be intentional about bringing that back into your marriage. Number 2, pursue and seduce. Pursue and seduce. Pursue your spouse and seduce them, just like you did when you was, trying to get them. Pursue and seduce them on a regular basis, because that's going to make your sex life go to a whole nother level. Pursue and seduce. And just because you're the woman does not mean that you can't pursue your husband. You can, and you can seduce them as well. It's in you. It's just been buried. You have been taking it for granted. Don't take it for granted any longer. Number 3, do something new. Do something so out of your comfort zone for you and your spouse that is going to blow your mind. Do something new. Doing the same old is not bringing you joy. That's the reason why your marriage is in a boring state in the first place. So do something new. Try something new. Eat something new. Go somewhere new. Do something new that takes you out of your comfort zone, that you can create a memory with your spouse and y'all can laugh about later or cry about later. Whatever that is, do something new. Number 4, this is one that you're going to take for granted, but make eye contact. So many of us are in marriages and we haven't taken the time to look our spouses in the eyes. Right? That is the gateway to everything, right? You can tell if your spouse is sad, if they're struggling, if they're sick, whatever that is. Take the time to literally look in your spouse's eyes. It will bring up emotions that you didn't even know that you had or he had for you, right? So take the time and just say, baby, I want to look into your eyes because I want to connect with you in a whole nother level. Number 5, take a trip to a local hotel. I don't care what hotel it is. I don't care if you say, I don't have the money. We make the money and we find the money to do whatever else we want. Take a trip to a local hotel. The new scenery, you don't have to worry about holding down the noise if you have people living in the household with you. Take a trip to a local hotel. I'm telling you, the change of scenery, just being in a whole different atmosphere, is going to change how you guys interact. Number 6, plan a surprise for your spouse. Whatever that looks like. It doesn't have to be anything huge. It doesn't have to be anything big. Just plan a surprise. It could be something so small as putting a candy bar in their car and just say, I'm sweet on you. Something. Give them something to be happy about, something out of the ordinary, something that you put some thought into. Okay, because again, this is your spouse and you're taking your marriage from being boring and mundane and just like putting on an old pair of shoes to a whole nother level. Okay. And number 7, stop having boring conversations. Stop having boring conversations. And what do I mean by boring conversations? The same old thing. How you doing? I'm doing fine. What do you want for dinner? I don't know. All those same boring conversations that bring up boring reactions, stop having them. Say, baby, tonight we're going to have X, Y, and Z. Change the narrative. Change how you're asking the same old questions, right? Go read something so you can have something new to add to the conversation when you go out on the date. Change the conversation and you will change the reaction and you will change the feelings that you have about sitting down having the conversations. Approach them different. Again, you're going to keep getting the same exact cake if you keep putting the same exact batter in the bowl. You have the ability to change the narrative and make your marriage exciting and bold and fun and sexy and spontaneous again. And I pray that this teaching has touched you and given you some tools and strategies to go from boring and mundane to a whole nother level. I love you to pieces. I am here every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will see you next week.
We're bringing sexy back.
Let's get it started. I don't want you